I lost everything until I found Islam.
My life before Islam was a tumultuous whirlwind, far from the path of righteousness. For 5 years, I embraced a playboy lifestyle, consumed by drug addiction. I convinced myself I was immune, that I was merely using drugs as a weight loss aid, sporadically, to avoid overeating. I believed I was strong enough to resist the grip of addiction that transformed others. My intention was to use for just 2 weeks, but soon I was enslaved, day and night, for half a decade. Drugs dragged me into complete devastation. My husband, also an addict, became violent, and I lived in constant fear for my life. The turning point came when I declared, "I'm stopping." He scoffed, "You can't." But I was resolute. That day I quit, cold turkey, without looking back. No rehab, no external help. My husband mocked my resolve, trying to drag me back into the abyss. Then, my beautiful son was born, and my entire focus shifted. This wonderful child deserved a good mother. I decided to change everything, every single focus, for him. It was a race against time, a train about to depart. I was once part of the coveted Hollywood world, a dream for many. My decision to leave it all behind and embrace Islam shocked countless people. The astonishing part? The moment I uttered the Shahada, declaration of faith, every desire for my old habits vanished. Alcohol, drugs, they held no appeal. There is nothing more beautiful than the tranquility I found in my heart as a Muslim. A lifelong search for truth. I was born and raised a non-denominational Christian. For 32 years, I sought answers, but God always felt distant, despite my every attempt to connect. My journey to Islam was indirectly sparked by my marriage to a devout Iranian man. He was also a non-denominational Christian, but his emotional and psychological abuse, his attempts to control my thoughts and keep me isolated, ultimately led me to leave. That step was the beginning of my true awakening, my quest to understand the world. Today, I serve as the Imam and Religious Director of the Islamic Institute of Orange County, a role I've held since 2006. Our community is incredibly diverse: immigrants, native-born Americans, Arabs, non-Arabs, and even Arabs from various regions. Recently, we've seen a surge in conversions, with 1 or 2 people embracing Islam every week. The recent wave of hatred and prejudice against Muslims has ironically driven more people to investigate and learn about Islam as a way of life. I had been searching for Islam for some time before converting, curious about the intense hatred directed towards Muslims. I saw the injustice and violence portrayed in the news, and the more I searched, the deeper I delved until I found the truth. The power and peace of Islam. One of the most profound aspects that drew me to Islam was its respect for women. Here, women are honored and their efforts appreciated. Our lives are not easy. We juggle countless responsibilities, caring for ourselves, our husbands, our children, enduring the trials of pregnancy and childbirth. Amidst our duties of cooking, cleaning, working, raising children, and maintaining our homes, Islam values us deeply. This understanding is why, for instance, women pray in separate sections of mosques to prevent men from being distracted, acknowledging the inherent power of a woman's attractiveness and presence. When I realized this, my decision to become Muslim was solidified. Islam has granted me an absolute sense of peace. Before, I was adrift, my life lacking purpose or a clear reason for existence. Embracing Islam brought me the serenity, security, and balance I desperately needed. It gave me something truly worth living for, and finally, I understood that my life had a real purpose. We don't always meet the people we need to understand why I was hesitant to approach others and convey my message. Each time I go to the mosque, the number of women attending grows. I never imagined I would become Muslim. My perception of Muslims was clouded by misunderstanding. I thought they were bad, and I couldn't picture myself as one of them. But today, I am a proud and happy Muslim. I want to wear my hijab so people know, even if they hate me for it. I don't care. I want to show them that God exists in every human being, not just in the Middle East. I played the drums before becoming Muslim, but Islam hasn't forced me to abandon my hobbies. I don't have to give up snowboarding or anything else I enjoy. I can do all of that and still be a good Muslim who wears a hijab. My father knew nothing of my past with drugs or the lifestyle I led. We didn't speak for 8 years after he kicked me out at 17. I lived for a week as a homeless person under a highway bridge with nothing but what I could carry in my bag. He didn't understand that I needed to bear the pain and heal on my own. We reconnected only when my son was born. I realized my son needed a grandfather. When I reached out, we had a beautiful conversation, apologized to each other, and promised not to repeat the past. He is my father and my best friend, a bond I never thought possible, and now I love him dearly. My father learned of my conversion to Islam when I first went to the mosque and embraced the faith. Knowing he could be very upset, I sent him a text message asking him to look at Muslims with an open mind, without judgment, and not to believe everything he heard in the news. He asked why. I replied, because I am a Muslim. He wasn't happy about my conversion, even fearing it might mean I'd have to leave home, as we live together and work in the same field. But with time, my father tried to protect me. He'd send me messages warning me, if you change your mind and leave Islam, Muslims will threaten to kill you, your parents, and your son. And they're from a place of protection, but he was also trying to show me a side of Islam that wasn't pure or true. Through our conversations, he gradually began to understand the truth. I worked hard to patiently explain things to him, and recently, he's begun to show acceptance of me and my choices. I look forward to seeing him grow with this understanding. Islam isn't what he perceives. If he sees me doing good deeds and treating others kindly, his eyes will open to the truth. I believe the strength and understanding I've gained will enable me to continue, and I hope my father will someday understand and accept my decision. He will see the change in me step by step and learn to appreciate what I do and what I learn, hoping it helps him see Islam in a positive light. Embracing a new path, halal and hijab. As an American, I realized many American practices don't align with Islamic principles. I had to learn what is halal, permissible, and what is haram, forbidden. I don't want to engage in anything forbidden, and though I still don't know everything, I've only been Muslim for a week and a half. I'm committed to learning. When I'm with Muslims or in the mosque, most of the conversation is in Arabic, which I don't speak yet, but I have a strong desire to learn. I read the Quran in English, and I want to learn to read it in all its forms in Arabic. I have an Arabic copy that I love to look at, even though I don't understand everything, knowing only Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I am still learning. My son Abdullah loves going to the mosque and praying with me. He enthusiastically and happily wears his Islamic garment, which is wonderful. He participates and enjoys it. Seeing the difference in himself, especially the calmness, kindness, and stability that now fills me compared to my past self, I believe this difference has positively impacted him. On the other hand, I had to change my eating habits. I want to eat halal food. I used to eat at Iranian and Arab restaurants because they served halal meat. Fortunately, there was a halal butcher an hour's drive away. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to eat meat at home. In my neighborhood, fast food restaurants are everywhere, and everyone is busy with their jobs, schedules, and children's affairs, while we take our time to think about what we put into our bodies and how we feel. I don't think it will be difficult if people truly feel God's mercy. finding support and confidence. Since embracing Islam and starting to wear the hijab and getting my phone in the neighborhood, I've met the best men. They work at the local gas station, the only one I go to now. These men are wonderful and always eager to help me as an American Muslim woman. While embracing Islam as an American might lead to some negative reactions, it's beautiful that my conversion was my choice, not an imposition. My father wished this for me, and I receive immense support from the mosque community, especially from strong women who empower me. I've formed new friendships with kind people who text and call me to ensure my happiness and well-being, which confirms the correctness of my choice, despite any judgments I might face. Although I sometimes feel dizzy, I still wear colorful clothes. I'm a girl who loves colors. I used to wear revealing and immodest clothing to attract attention, but now I wear a hijab and feel more confident. I no longer need to seek attention or validation from false sources, because true fulfillment comes from God, the ultimate source of confidence. I started wearing the hijab on the very first day I embraced Islam, hours after my conversion. I lost my car keys and went to buy a hijab because I felt it reflected greater respect for God and myself. It also prevents men from thinking inappropriate thoughts. I want them to see what I am from the inside out. For many years, I was subjected to men's gazes, whether I was wearing swimsuits or other revealing clothes. But now, I want to respect my religion, my Islam, and respect God and myself. A butterfly transformed. I wish you could accompany me to see the changes I've undergone. I feel like a butterfly encased in clothing that made my life toxic and wrong, but I've broken free and become a butterfly changing its colors. It's time to share my transformation into a true butterfly. There are many things I need to discard, so I don't feel regret remembering what I used to wear. Those immodest clothes. I will bid farewell to the outfits I loved wearing, with short shorts or schoolgirl skirts. This sense of liberation that came over me when I shed the past allowed a new self to blossom. You can embrace Islam and be aware of its value, but don't make it just an outfit. I am not just a hijab wearer. I am a new person, and letting go of the past is the foundation for a new beginning. Now that I am Muslim, I want to change people's perceptions of Islam. I want to show that Muslims care, that we are friendly and good people who care about our neighbors and those around us. We can change people's opinions through our behavior. This is the path God has chosen for me. I will continue to learn everything about Islam, hoping that one day I will be able to speak with women and Muslim sisters to help, teach, and guide them. This is incredibly important. As a Muslim, I see things as they are, and what I consider true is more important than anything I once held dear. If I can help anyone feel what I feel inside, that will be my self-realization. I will do anything to help others see the truth, for this is the duty I believe in,